Different matter. I rise today to pay tribute to Becky Lockhart, former Speaker of the Utah House of Representatives, who tragically passed away on January 17th after a brief battle with a rare and devastating disease. Becky Lockhart was the first woman to serve as Speaker of the House in the state of Utah, and she did so in a truly extraordinary manner. She established a pattern of leadership that will be a model and a guide for wise legislative leaders in our state and across this great nation for many, many years to come. I affectionately and admiringly referred to Speaker Lockhart as the Iron Lady of Utah, as she possessed so many of the qualities of the original Iron Lady, Margaret Thatcher. Grounded in conservative principles, passionate about policy, and committed to federalism and local control. She knew where she stood, and she stood firm every single time. She followed the admonition of another great leader in American politics, Abraham Lincoln, who said, "I will stand with anybody that stands right, stands with him while he's right, and part with him when he goes wrong." Professionally trained as a nurse, Speaker Lockhart also understood the softer yet equally important gifts of compassion and concern, as well as listening and laughter. Even in the most heated discussions, she could change a room with a flash of her charismatic smile, a wink and a grin, or even some well-worded sarcasm to provide a little bit of levity. Combining her nurse's intuition and strong leadership made her the perfect combination of satin and steel. She could and would and did stand up to any political or business bureaucracy, forcefully correct a colleague, rebuke an inaccurate report, and challenge small-minded ideas and thinkers. Less reported was her impact and influence as a mentor to new members of the Utah House of Representatives. Her work in helping more women become involved in the political process, and how she gave voice to those who didn't have a strong voice of their own. Above all, Speaker Lockhart looked out for, longed to be with, cherished, and loved her family. She knew that the work she did within the walls of her own home was the most important work she would or could ever do. Becky also recognized the family as the bulwark of society and the strength of our nation. More than the ink of good press or the accolades of others, Speaker Lockhart knew that her most important legacy would not be recorded in history books. It would not be recorded in the Utah State Code that has so many of her words written on it. No, it would be written in the hearts of her family and her friends. I've been lifted by Becky Lockhart's leadership, inspired by her insight and her integrity, encouraged by her commitment to the U.S. Constitution and her love of country, and most blessed to call her my friend. Speaker Becky Lockhart, the Iron Lady of Utah, will indeed be heralded for her satin and steel leadership in the Utah House of Representatives. She will indeed be remembered for all that she did, but more significantly, she will hold a special place in countless hearts because of who she was. Mr. President, I pay tribute to this special person, this amazing leader, and this beloved friend whose loss we mourn this very week, and who some members of this body were privileged to know. It's my honor to do so. Thank you, Mr. President.